IPMNation.com.
The following episode of All Natural Being with Brian Brawdy on IPMNation.com, The Bry, was pre-recorded. Thank you so very much for stopping by.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
This is not a drill.
All Natural Being. Warning, All Natural Being with Brian Brawdy is designed to shake your sense of self to the core.
It's full contact psychology with an empowering twist, a philosophical loofah for your soul.
For those of you not ready or comfortable releasing your inner superhuman, listener discretion is advised.
Here's your host,
Brian Brawdy.
Welcome, and thank you for stopping by and hanging out. Oh, let's do this. And don't get lazy, don't get soft, because this is pre-recorded. But thank you for stopping by and hanging out for episode 458 of the #1 rated All Natural Being. And of course, my trusty sidekick, the gong, heard around the world. And even though it's pre-recorded, I promise it's done so with you in mind. And it's taped, but still, hands down, I believe this is your snooze alarm's sworn enemy, whatever time of day that you're listening, because it's radio that sparks your smart broadcasts that work to build your strong and unleash your legendary, because believe me, along about right now, I wish I was vertical. Make no mistake. If you're still vertical, you've got a legend to let loose. And to that end, we're serving up the best thoughts in the history of thinking. Hands down, drop the mic, no argument. So what do you say? Here's your opportunity to mortal up, to crush your cant and your critics while you're at it. So I say it's about time. Let's go kick in some doors. And I thank you again for 458. And knowing that this is a pre-recorded, right? It's a little different for me. I got to tell you, a pre-recorded episode of All Natural Being. This will be day 2 when you're listening to this. I will be in the Columbus Cranium Shack and Needle Emporium. That will be my second day, and today will be the first official launch of Molly and Jen. As you know, Molly is the nurse that will be with me throughout, and she'll be getting constant feedback from the rest of the team, including Ashley, and then she'll be hanging out with Jenny in 5-minute segments that'll come at the bottom of each hour to kind of give people that are interested an update in what's going on. Right? I'm hoping it's an update like he survived the first surgery, he's not in a coma, that kind of thing. He's still alive, right? So we're hoping that is a little bit of what comes. But you roll the dice. You never can tell. It's one big roulette wheel of life here in the labyrinth. You don't know what will happen. But I can tell you what will happen. Let me just get this out of the way, right? Just because I can get it off we always talk about getting it off your chest, getting it off your shoulders, that whatever happens, I will see you down the road. And whether it's in this life or another, I will always be rooting for your all-natural being, and I'll look forward to seeing you one place or the other before too long. So I know that for sure. The second thing I know for sure is that now 2.5 years ago, on the eve of going in for my first wackadoodle with a brain tumor, right? You'd have thought they just could have fixed it then, right? So, but 2.5 years ago, there was something that I did, and our caller today has been with me throughout the entire journey. And it's the one thing that brushing your teeth every morning is another thing. But outside of the normal stuff that everyone does, there's one thing that I've done religiously. So when I go in and the doctors go, how are you, your age, and you don't take medications. There's no prescriptions. There's nothing wrong with you. You don't have anything for your heart, anything for your breathing, anything for your kidneys, anything. I don't even know what some of the ailments could be, but there's nothing other than the hole in the back of my head, right? Leaking spinal fluid like it's going out of style. Other than that, there's absolutely nothing wrong with you. How is that possible? Well, clean living, right, which is probably not true with me, right? Truth be told, I had a deep fried chicken sandwich the other day, so I don't know how much clean living I'm really doing. But outside of the clean living, there is one thing that I've done every day since the surgery. And I will say to you that by the time you're listening to the show, as I said, it will be Wednesday morning. Believe me, the moment that I came to, the moment I was conscious, the one thing that I'll be packing in, I call it a crash bag. You know what those are. Just a little ditty, a little bag, a man purse, if you will, that you take with you to the hospital. I will reach in and pull out this little package right here. It's BioPro. And so I wanted to have on the show today someone that's been a dear friend of mine, as I say, I met him right before my little soiree with the brain tumor. And he is one of the bigwigs at Alternative Health Concepts. Maybe you've seen his emails. He's been on some of our marathons before. But I wanted to say hello. Mike Warren, are you there?
I am, Brian.
Hey, brother.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, my absolute pleasure. So I was bragging about everyone. Let me do this. While you're on, I'm going to put up the logo. But I also want to be able to hold my box up for everyone to see it. But here you go. And I know you're thinking to yourself, oh, wow, Brian, that's some pretty state-of-the-art graphics you got there. Yeah, because in the final moment when we realized the graphic I had wasn't the best, I took this picture on my camera, emailed myself, Mike, while you were on hold, came up with my own graphic. You're like, Brian, if you survive this thing, there could be a gig for you doing, what would this be called, like Photoshop or internet graphics or something else. You never can tell. But Mike Warren, the logo of BioPro Plus is up. So could you catch us up quickly? And then I want to go back down memory lane. But could you catch us up quickly about why the bioidentical thymic protein of BioPro Plus, and I take the intensive dose, why it is so important to restoring someone's immune system?
Yeah, sure, and it's really pretty simple. If you look at our bodies and the way they're designed, our bodies are designed to overcome all illness, any disease that is thrown at us. That's the way we've been designed, whether it be by the Creator, as you say, or the universe, or even if it's evolution, whichever you believe, it doesn't really matter. It is the way the body's designed to work. So you get any disease like cancer, which is my wife went through that whole thing, or what you're dealing with. You have to keep your immune system strong. If you do, disease is not possible. An optimal working immune system, disease is not possible. So if you're firing on all cylinders with your immune system, you can't get disease. So with that said, what is this? What is thymic protein? Most people have never heard of it.
Mike, can I interrupt for 1 second? But before you do that, Could you just repeat that again? Because I think everyone, has got it bass-ackwards. You're saying that if your immune system is up to snuff and it's doing what it's supposed to do, disease doesn't stand a chance. We're not diseased beings trying to get better, right? We're not disease beings just waiting for the next disease to pop on the radar. We're already better beings, right? So could you say that again for just so everyone is perfectly clear on what we are and what we are not?
Yes. Our bodies are designed to be healthy, number one. Now, if your immune system is working at its full potential, firing on all cylinders, disease is not possible. We know through a lot of different studies and a lot of recent things that are going on, and I go back to cancer because that's one of the biggest things that people are dealing with. We know that 1 in 3 people, all people in the whole world, will deal with cancer at some point in their lives. It's coming closer to 1 in 2 or 50%. So that we virtually, no matter who you are, who's listening, we know that you're going to get cancer. So what happens is one of the big things that they're doing with cancer is something called immunotherapy. It's where they're making the biggest gains. And what is that? What is immunotherapy? Fancy words. It's simply getting your immune system operating properly so that it can fight the cancer. It's literally the only way that you can fight cancer effectively in 99% of the cases. Chemotherapy, radiation, all these have good variations. They're good. They do things. They work sometimes.
Right.
But what always works all the time is your immune system. And if you can strengthen your immune system, get it back on, disease is not possible. With that said, what is this product?
Right.
There's a little gland in all of our bodies called the thymus gland.
Okay.
It's such an important gland that it sits under your breastbone where it is the most protected, right next to your heart. That little
It brings
gland
an instant smile to my
the-
face when you say that, Michael. I have to tell you, it brings an instant smile that you say, yeah, when, the Big Bang or the Big Breath, the divine, however you define it, designed us
Right.
in such a way that the bodyguards for this gland was the sternum itself.
Absolutely.
Unbelievable.
That's absolutely right.
Unbelievable.
So it is central to everything that's in your body because what this little gland does, the thymus gland, it secretes proteins or polypeptides. There's different variations, but
Okay.
most people understand proteins. It secretes these proteins. And these proteins are like the centurions of your body.
Ooh, I like
They
that.
go through and they look for bad guys. All the pathogens that come in, whether it's just cold or flu,
Sure.
cancer,
Sure.
bacteria, anything that's attacking your body. These little centurions go in and they find that bad guy. They put a marker on him, and then they go get the SWAT team, if you will, over here, and they say, hey, there's a bad guy lurking over there. You need you to go take him out.
So it's like
And then
Neighborhood
that
Watch.
dude-
It's like Neighborhood Watch.
Kind of, yeah.
Everyone's got
Yeah, yeah.
binoculars looking for the bad guys. Okay. And then they call 911. All right.
Yep.
I'm with you so far.
And then that cell, which is called a natural killer cell,
Okay.
goes back and finds the marker that these little proteins put on the bad guy.
Drop the
and
dime.
Then and then that protein that killer cell knows that that's the bad guy, and it latches onto him and literally will drill a hole in that and destroy the cell. That's the way, in a real simple view, our immune system works. It's constantly in surveillance for bad guys, and when they find the bad guys, they take them out. And that's the way it works. It's so simple, but obviously it's a lot more complex.
Okay, so Mike, now I have two vials, as you know. I have a vial of liquid
Right.
and a vial of powder, right? And the only other
Right.
thing, brother, what you and your dad need to come up with is some way of what these vials could be used for after the fact. Because I have
Yeah, right.
250 million of these empty vials. Okay, so talk to me about the liquid in vial number 1 and talk to me about the
Mm-hmm. Right.
powder, if you will, in vial number 2 and how that helps. Right, in
Okay,
terms of the
right.
thymus. Give me an idea of how all this
Okay,
is working
so,
together.
Okay, so the liquid is a dilutant,
Okay.
and what it does, it's a nanotech silver, and it works synergistically with us. And
Okay.
you can look at nanotech silver and learn more about what silver
Okay.
does. But for the most part, it's a dilutant, and that's what we use it for. It does work synergistically with the thymic protein.
Okay.
So in the other vial, you'll see a little protein at the bottom, and
Yes,
remember,
sir.
this protein is very, very powerful. After about the age of 40, your body just stops producing this protein. The thymus gland shrivels up at around the age of 40. That's why most of us, I'm 60 this year. When we get older than 40, we start kind of going downhill a little bit. And not you, I know you haven't. You do amazing things. It's been unbelievable. But at any rate, so after the age of 40, your body stops producing these proteins, or the little centurions that help find the bad guys. So we get sick easier. Well, what we've been able to do is isolate a few of these critical proteins. The thymus gland produces somewhere between 50 and 80 proteins. They don't know exact number.
Okay.
We've isolated a few select proteins that we know are really important to helping the immune system fight back or replenish the cells, the immune cells in your body. That's what that protein does. So it's a very sensitive protein. It's sensitive to different elements and things like that. That's why it's in the powder form, and
Okay.
it has to be reconstituted. It is freeze dried, So there's the shelf life, it lasts forever, which is nice. And you take it, and you have to dilute it within a couple hours. You need to take it into your mouth. You open the little vial cap, you pour the dilutant into the powder, put the cap back on it, shake it up. It'll be a little cloudy at first. When it's clear, pop it in your mouth. Keep it in there for, the longer the better.
Okay.
We had some tests done on it, and if you keep it in your mouth about 4 minutes is what we try and tell people. That is almost a 90% absorption rate.
You know what I do, Mike? You know how I've incorporated it into my morning? It takes 4 minutes for my tea kettle to make a whistle, to make boiling hot water. Right? So I'll work out. Now, you see, I'm learning something new from you, because sometimes, admittedly, I might take it while it's a little more cloudy than I should. If I'm supposed to wait for it to go clear, because once I mix these two things, I'm like caddies in the pool in Caddyshack, right? I'm like all in, giddy up. So maybe I'm taking it in a little sooner, so I'll wait for it to clear.
It won't hurt anything. Just you know, Brian, I like to tell people just to make sure so they don't get any clumps, if you will. If you pour it in too soon, it might taste a little stronger.
Oh yeah, I don't. Taste. Well, they destroyed all the nerves getting the tumor out of me, so I can't taste anything anyway. So, if I say to you, "Oh, Mike, I'm in the area. Mind if I stop by for dinner?" Well, just have your wife do just you guys whip up some styrofoam packaging peanuts, some plastic fruit, because I can't taste anything. Right? There's nothing left in my tongue. I can't taste anything. Okay, but let me ask you. So now, does this help rejuvenate the thymus gland that started to tap out at age 40, or does it do the work of the diminutive thymus gland post 40?
Exactly.
Okay.
The second.
It does the work for it. Okay.
It does not help. There's no way of getting that back. In fact, the thymus gland actually atrophies and it shrivels up.
Amazing.
So that at age 40, for all practical purposes, it's not nearly as big as when it's in its prime is when you're in puberty. Going through puberty is when it's in its prime. And that's when it's full force.
So was I, brother.
Full force at that point. Yeah, well, we all were.
Well, I do my best work when I act 12.
For sure.
Well, let me also say this, Mike, for people.
That's what's exciting about it.
I was just going to say that when I go into the hospital and the people go, they'll grill Ashley. They'll go, come on, what are his medications? Nothing. Well, what's he see a doctor for? Nothing. Who's his primary care physician? I didn't have one, Michael. Till I found the tumor, I didn't even have a doctor. What's he take for cholesterol? Nothing. What's he take for? I don't even know what some of them are that other people have, right? But I don't take anything except BioPro. Right. Yep. Since I met you and since we started down, I have some vitamins. There's some other things that I do and the like. But the one thing that I do religiously every day, I never miss, is my BioPro Plus. And I think that's a part of the reason that I'm able to go into these meetings with these doctors and these nurses, and they go, get out of here. There's nothing wrong with you. You're not on medication. You don't so much as take an aspirin. No. And I think it's because of you, your dad, and BioPro Plus. I really do. Yep.
No, absolutely. And and that's the exciting thing about this supplement, Brian, is that it like you said, it doesn't replenish the thymus gland, but you haven't had these proteins circulating in your body since around the age of 40. So when you get to my age, 20 years ago, It's been since I've had these proteins. Now we're introducing these proteins back in. And by the way, they're a bioavailable exact duplicate of our proteins. They're a bioidentical protein to what your body produces from the thymus gland.
What it used to produce.
Say, what the heck are you doing? Are you taking these out of humans? No. All mammals have a thymus gland. All mammals' immune system work exactly the same. And all the proteins can go over anything. We use a bovine source.
So it's interchangeable is what you're saying.
Yeah. All mammals produce these proteins.
And then, Michael, I imagine your body, when it gets past 40, your body's like, wait a minute, what's this? Now we got a little bit of help again. Your body's got to be like, it's like Easter or Christmas or the tooth fairy is coming. It's just got to be loving.
Funny. That's a funny story about that. We had a gentleman that he's a doctor, and he's a big cancer doctor, if you will.
Okay.
Anyway, he was in his 80s. I haven't talked to him lately, but the first time he took it, we told him to take it, and we didn't even realize or think about it at this time. But because he was so much past the age of 40 at this time, he was in mid 80s.
Okay.
He took it anyway. He took it at night. He called us the next day. He goes, "What is in this stuff? I couldn't sleep all night." And just what you said. I mean, it was like Christmas
Sure.
as an 8-year-old at that point, because his body went, "What the heck?" We have a lot of people that feel that initially.
Sure.
Just a big jolt of energy, because all of a sudden their body's filled with these cells that are helping their immune system. It's waking up their immune system, if you will. And your immune system's the center of your body. If your immune system's working properly, you cannot have disease. Well, also, your body is more energized. You perform better. You can do things better because, again, your body is working the way it was designed to work. And that's why it's so critical.
And I will tell you, Michael, that my doctors have said to me that, over the course of the last couple of years, that if your immune system can focus on just repairing the damage that was done when we removed the tumor, right? For whatever the cause was.
Right.
If your immune system can focus on that, you can beat this. But if your immune system is busy dealing with all these other little things you have going on, you're kind of watering down your immune system and you're asking it to do way too much. So I've kind of asked BioPro Plus to do some of the heavy lifting so that my immune system can focus in a more targeted way on the whole, right? A hole in my head, but and replenishing the dura so that I can finally get this leak stopped. So I use BioPro to kind of watch my BioPro Plus. I use it to watch my back a little bit, my immune system, so that I'm not asking my immune system to fight with both hands tied behind its back. Just that's a little bit of my mentality.
Yep. And the other thing that people don't think about, Brian, I mean, we're talking about something. You're going in to have a major surgery. What happens in hospitals every day during surgery? People get infected.
Sure.
Guess what? If your immune system's working properly, that infection can't take seat. It will not happen. So a lot of people use this pre-op, post-op,
Sure.
And for just regular maintenance. But people like you that are already compromised with your immune system, man, it's a huge part for that too, because this is going to help your body. I mean, I'm sure they're going to give you all kinds of antibiotics and all kinds of stuff like that, which is all good. But to make sure that you don't get infected. But this will help your body at the cellular level do what it's supposed to do.
This is my bulletproof vest. This is my Kevlar vest, if you will, to throw it back.
Exactly right.
So, Mike, we're going to have to go ahead and get out of here. Thank you, brother. What we're going to do is I'm going to post the link, because I'm not sure how this whole tape thing works, but when this goes up, it'll go on Facebook, it'll go on YouTube, it'll go over, whatever. I'm going to have them post the link. But can you give it to me right now? Where can people go? Where's our page for BioPro Plus so that they can start, they can get a bodyguard as well?
Sure. Go. The site that we like to have people go to, number one, it's already discounted off our regular website.
Cool.
If you just go to www.getbiopro.com. That's the best place to go. Okay. Getbiopro.com. They go there and they can read all about it. There's a lot of good information on it on that page, and they can see it and they can try it out for themselves at a discounted rate, and
fantastic.
I know they'll be happy with it. The other thing is we like to tell everybody, Brian, is that 90-day unconditional, no questions asked. We don't care.
Right.
Buy a 90-day supply, use it all, and tell us you're not happy, and we'll just refund your money.
That's what I've always loved about you, is you and your dad as a company. I can't imagine people not feeling better right away. But even then, you say, hey, look, here's what we're going to do. Well, Michael, thank you so very much. Mike Moore, and please tell your dad I said howdy. And as I've said a couple other times over the last few days, in this life or another, I will see you again soon. Hopefully, and if it's the other life, I hope it's not too soon for you. But I'll be there. I'll be there waiting on you if that turns out to be the case. All right, brother. Thank you for everything, and most certainly spreading some of the knowledge today. I super appreciate it. Thank you so very much for joining us here at All Natural Being. We look forward to at least the tape version of us getting to hang with you tomorrow morning. Thank you so very much for all the tweets, the Facebooks, the emails, the notes, the calls. Thank you so very, very much. I truly appreciate it. Here we go.
pmnation.com.